Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at the life and legacy of Corey Daniel Felsman.
Okay.
He was really beloved in the New York City psytrance scene.
Right.
And we're going to be looking at transam.org.
Oh, cool.
As a website.
Okay.
And they've got a lot of great stories about him and tributes to him.
Oh, wow.
And it really paints a very full picture of Corey and the community.
Yeah.
And we're going to find that his story is really intertwined with music community and resilience.
Right.
As well as like the ever-evolving landscape of New York City.
That's really interesting because I feel like that's a theme that we see a lot with these artists. You know, their story is very much a reflection of like the challenges and the triumphs of the entire subculture as it navigates a city that's constantly changing around it.
Yeah. And so transam.org, you know, highlights some of these elements, like the Futterwacken events that he did with his wife, Rebecca.
Oh, wow.
And these weren't just parties. They had a very specific theme, Alice in Wonderland.
That's cool.
Corey was the Mad Hatter, and Rebecca was Alice.
Awesome.
And it was set against this kind of like gritty New York underground.
So it wasn't like just whimsical fun. It seems like there was a lot of meaning.
Right.
I mean, the website mentions that it really resonated with people who had been part of the scene for a while.
Right.
Almost as a throwback to like a different era in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they really yearned for that bygone era.
Yeah. And like as an escape from the rapidly changing city around them.
Totally.
Yeah, that's a great observation. I think it speaks to the power of these subcultures, you know? It's not just about belonging.
Yeah.
It's about having that shared history, especially when things are changing really quickly. And like they said, it feels like a throwback to a different time.
Totally. And speaking of challenges, Corey's life took a turn when Rebecca passed away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the website tells us she had a heart condition that stemmed from childhood trauma, which is just like, you know. It's hard to hear that, but it underscores the hidden burdens that people carry.
Absolutely. Even in the most vibrant scene, there's always these complexities that are ever present.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But before we go too far forward, let's rewind to Corey's early days.
Okay.
We know he grew up in Jamaica, Queens.
Okay.
And he studied accounting.
Wow. That's not the typical path to becoming a psytrance DJ.
Not really, no, but that's where Rebecca comes in.
Oh, okay.
They met in the early 2010s.
Okay.
And they were both really passionate about psytrance.
Right.
And she was an artist herself. And they decided to create these Futterwacken parties.
Oh, cool. So they took that passion and really put it out there.
Yeah, let's unpack these Futterwacken events a bit more.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the photos I saw on the website, and it just seemed like such an immersive experience.
Yeah, they really went all out.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a party. It was an experience.
Yeah, they had live performances, art installations, interactive elements.
Wow.
It's almost like a party in a theater.
That's incredible. And on a DIY budget, they did all that.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what really strikes me, is this wasn't just some production company.
Yeah.
This was like from the heart.
Right.
And a real passion project.
Yeah, they tapped into that creativity and collaboration of the community.
Totally. And you can see how Futterwacken became like this cornerstone of the NYC psytrance scene.
Absolutely.
It was like the blend of music and art and community that people were really drawn to.
Yeah, for sure.
But unfortunately, as we know, Rebecca passed away in 2015.
Oh, wow.
And that was a devastating blow, not just for Corey, but for the entire community.
Right.
And the website doesn't really dwell on it.
Yeah.
You can tell that her loss left a huge void.
And they don't sensationalize it or anything.
Right.
It really focuses on the impact that her absence had on Corey and the rest of the community.
Yeah, and you can feel that shift in the website as it goes into this next phase of Corey's life.
Right, and it transitions to him being in Israel for a while and kind of introspecting and healing.
Right.
And eventually he came back to New York, and Luis Campos, another person in the scene, encouraged him to start DJing again.
Right.
Wow.
And it wasn't even just about the DJing. It was about like finding solace in the music.
It makes you think about, what was it about that scene that drew him back in?
Yeah.
Was it the music? Was it the community?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah, and that's something we'll discuss
as we keep going.
As we go on.
But his return to New York wasn't totally seamless.
Right.
He had a lot of obstacles to overcome.
Right.
Especially rising rents and the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah.
It was changing the entire landscape of the city.
Totally.
And the subcultures within it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious to learn more about Corey's DJing style.
Okay.
I mean, we know he was really into psytrance.
Right.
But transam.org mentions that he had this really unique approach.
Okay.
Almost like a signature sound.
Yeah. Yeah, and it seems like it really resonated with people.
Yeah.
The website does have links to his Bandcamp and SoundCloud pages.
Okay.
But there's not a lot of his music actually online.
Oh, wow.
So it seems like his work was more about the live performances.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because psytrance is really something that you have to experience live to feel the music and everything.
Exactly. It's like a sonic journey.
Yes.
A collective experience.
Yeah.
But even though we don't have access to a ton of his music, transam.org does have some descriptions and anecdotes about his style.
Oh, cool.
And people say that his sets were really high energy, full of driving beats and intricate melodies.
Nice.
And they also mention a playful and mischievous edge to it.
I love that.
Almost like his personality was shining through.
Yes. That his music was just an extension of himself.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and he often incorporated nostalgia into his sets, too.
No,
like he would blend classic psytrance tracks with newer sounds.
That's really neat.
Yeah, almost like paying homage to the roots of the genre.
Right.
While also pushing it forward.
Exactly.
Yeah, creating something that was both familiar and fresh.
And that must really connect you with the crowd.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because music can bridge generations.
Right. It creates that shared history within the subculture.
And Corey's ability to connect with his audience is evident.
Yes.
In all the testimonials on transam.org.
Right. There are so many, from DJs, from people who went to the parties, from people who just knew him.
Yeah.
And they all emphasize that he could create a really shared experience.
Yeah.
One DJ even said his sets were like a sonic tapestry woven with love, passion, and a deep understanding of the transformative power of music.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah, he wasn't just mixing tracks. He was creating an experience, a space for like a collective transcendence.
And this goes back to the Futterwacken events
Yes.
that he created with Rebecca.
Exactly. The website has some photos that capture that whimsical, playful spirit.
I was looking at those photos, and you can feel the energy.
I know.
Like radiating from
So
them.
totally.
They're so cool. The costumes, decorations, the people's faces.
Yeah, it was a magical atmosphere.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just about the visuals either.
Right.
They had live performances. They had art installations, interactive elements. It was blurring the lines between a typical party and immersive theater.
It's amazing how they did that on a DIY budget.
I know, it's incredible.
Yeah.
It shows how powerful creativity and collaboration are and the community.
And that collaborative spirit,
Yes.
I think, is really key to Futterwacken.
Absolutely.
It wasn't just Corey and Rebecca's vision.
Right.
It was a whole community effort.
It was fueled by their shared passion.
Yeah, and that sense of community.
Yeah.
You can see that in all the tributes on transam.org.
For sure.
They give you a glimpse of the man behind the music.
Yes. One of the first things that jumped out to me was just how enthusiastic he was.
Yeah.
How much energy he had. People described him as a force of nature, a bright light, someone who could light up a room with his smile.
It's so nice to hear that.
It is. You can really feel that warmth and positivity.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just superficial charisma.
Right.
People talked about his kindness and his generosity.
Yeah.
He was genuinely interested in others.
Yeah.
He wanted to make everyone feel welcome, regardless of their background.
That's so important.
It is, especially in a scene that can be kind of insular sometimes.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, he actively fostered a sense of community.
Yes. He created a space where everyone felt like they belonged.
And you can see that in the stories on the website.
Yeah, right?
The woman said she felt lost and alone in the city.
Okay.
Until she found Futterwacken.
Oh, wow.
And Corey welcomed her, and she felt like she finally found her people.
It's amazing how even a brief encounter with someone like Corey could have such a profound impact.
Yeah. These communities are so important.
They are.
Especially in a city as big as New York.
Exactly. It gives you a sense of belonging.
Yeah.
When you can feel really isolated.
And it shows that even in unexpected places,
yeah,
we can find these meaningful connections.
Absolutely. And they can ripple out beyond the immediate community.
Another theme that comes up a lot in the tributes is Corey's resilience.
Yes.
You know, even with all the challenges he faced.
Right. Losing Rebecca.
Yeah.
The city changing.
Yeah.
He never lost his spirit.
Yeah.
Or his passion for music.
Right. It's like he knew that life is a journey.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that you have to embrace the good and the bad. And, you know.
And find joy in the challenges.
And he seemed to find joy in bringing people together.
Yeah.
Through music.
Absolutely.
And it's so inspiring to see someone like that.
It is.
You know, embracing life even after heartbreak and loss.
Yeah.
It's a reminder to keep dancing, keep seeking connection and joy.
And transam.org mentions that Corey was friends with the website author. Yeah.
Online.
They were online friends.
Okay.
But they bonded over their passion for Psytrance, their fascination with AI art.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's amazing how technology can bring people together.
Right.
Like that.
Some across the globe.
Yeah. They might never have met otherwise.
Right.
And it seems like it was a really special connection for Corey.
Yeah.
The author describes him as a kindred spirit.
Oh.
Someone who really understood him.
Makes you wonder if that friendship helped him.
Yeah.
After Rebecca passed away.
Right. Having someone to talk to someone who gets you.
Yeah.
Can be so valuable.
And they would joke around.
Yes.
Lots.
Yeah. The author said that they always joked about getting into trouble.
Okay.
If they ever met up.
That's really cute.
It shows their camaraderie.
Yeah, even though they were online.
Exactly. It makes you wonder, can online friendships be as deep as in-person ones? That's a great question.
Yeah.
But for now, let's get back to Corey's impact on the scene. We've talked about his music, his events, the tributes, his online connections.
Yeah.
It's such a multifaceted story.
Right.
He wasn't just a DJ.
Right.
He was so much more.
Yeah. He touched so many lives.
He did. His journey really shows the power of these subcultures.
Right.
They give you a sense of belonging.
Yeah.
And they showcase the challenges and the triumphs of pursuing your art.
Yeah.
Especially in a city that's always changing.
Right.
And he was just a reminder that community and passion can really make a difference.
So as we move into the last part of our deep dive,
Yes.
we'll look at the bigger implications of Corey's story.
Okay.
We'll reflect on the role of subcultures in city life,
Okay.
the resilience of artists,
Yeah.
and the legacy of passion and community.
Absolutely.
So as we're wrapping up our deep dive into Corey's life and legacy,
Yeah.
I'm just struck by how his story goes beyond just him.
Right.
Like, it really speaks to these bigger themes
It does.
that go way beyond just the NYC Psytrance scene.
Yeah. And you know what's really interesting is how Corey's journey is kind of like a mirror to what so many artists go through, especially when they're trying to find their place in a city like New York.
Right.
You know, you see the effects of gentrification, the rising cost of living, the lack of space.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And amidst all that, transam.org shows this resilience in Corey.
Oh, absolutely.
This determination to keep the music alive, to make connections, to create joy.
It's like a testament to the human spirit.
Totally.
Like we can adapt and thrive even when things are really tough.
And it's a good reminder that these subcultures like the Psytrance scene, they're not just about the music or the parties. It's about belonging. It's about expressing yourself. It's about finding your people.
Exactly. It's like finding your tribe.
Yeah.
In a world that can be really isolating.
Especially in a city as big as New York.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah, and it makes you appreciate all these different layers of the city. All the stuff that's happening under the surface.
Stuff we don't always see.
Right, exactly. And Corey was a part of that. He brought people together.
Yeah.
He created experiences that stayed with people long after the music stopped.
And his story makes us want to look deeper.
Yes.
You know, to see the richness of the city.
Absolutely.
To recognize the value of these subcultures.
Because who knows what we might find.
Exactly.
Right, in our own neighborhoods.
Yeah.
But Corey's story also shows the challenges that artists face.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Especially with the rising costs and the lack of affordable spaces.
It's so hard to make a living as an artist.
It is, especially in a place like New York.
It feels like a constant struggle.
It is. It's a balancing act.
Yeah.
But Corey shows us that it's not impossible.
Right.
He adapted. He found new places to perform. He connected with people. He kept the music going.
It's really inspiring.
It shows his resourcefulness, his belief in the power of music.
To bring people together. And, you know, it's like even when things feel impossible, there's always a way to create, to connect, to find meaning.
Absolutely.
Corey's life is such a powerful example of that.
It is.
And his legacy lives on.
It does, in the music and the memories in the community.
And transam.org is a beautiful tribute to that.
It is. It keeps his spirit alive.
Yeah.
And reminds us of the importance of passion, community, and resilience.
I'm so glad we got to explore Corey's story.
Me too.
It's been a journey.
It has.
With so much joy and sadness and inspiration.
Yeah, and a lot of appreciation for human connection.
And I hope that this deep dive has made you curious.
I hope so too.
To explore your own city, to find communities that you connect with.
Right.
And to support the artists around you.
Yes, because Corey's story is just one of many.
Right.
There are so many people out there making a difference in their own ways.
So go out there, explore, connect, and celebrate the beauty of it all.
I love that. And you might even find your own tribe along the way.
That's a great point to end on.
It is.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the life and legacy of Corey Daniel Felsman.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep connecting, and keep the music playing.